Mic test. 1 2 1 2.
This is test mic 2. Test mic 2.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome, Cougar family, to Beasley Coliseum for tonight's matchup between the visiting Eastern Washington Eagles and young Washington State Cougar. Washington State and the West Coast Conference have assigned a high priority to assuring all athletic events in this gymnasium are conducted in a safe and enjoyable atmosphere. Abusive language or gestures or disorderly conduct directed at fans, staff, coaches, or student athletes is strictly prohibited. And grounds for removal. Fans strike into the playing surface or throwing objects will be removed from the site of competition. Washington State thanks you for your cooperation. And your safety and security is important to Washington State. In the event of an evacuation, please listen to my instructions. Identify the closest exit from where you're seated. Call in an orderly manner, and WSU personnel and security will provide additional guidance. Thank you, and go Cougs. Washington State is a tobacco-free campus. All tobacco and nicotine products are prohibited on EWSU campus, including our athletics facility. maybe even a license plate, but do you have the Coop debit card that supports Cougar Athletics every time you use it? Visit Visa.com to get your Coop card today. Insured by MCUA. Coors Light, not cold refreshment. Choose chill, proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. And fans, make sure to sign your kid up for the Junior Cougs Kids Club presented by Toyota. Each membership is just $45 and includes a credential, a t-shirt, water bottle, and wristband. Junior Cougs also get free admission to all home soccer, volleyball, women's basketball, and baseball games, as well as non-conference men's basketball games and a select football game. Sign up online today at WSUCougars.com.
This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Eric Strupp, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He's stuffing the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KU Sports to listen to every game live.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, onto the game.
Welcome to KUGR Radio. It may be a chilly, windy storm outside in Pullman, but Beasley Coliseum welcomes shelter as we are here to watch the Washington State Cougars take on the Eastern Washington Eagles in women's basketball. My name is Nathan Eshelman. I'm joined by Charlie Templeton. And Charlie, both of these roads, their teams' roads, they've been a little bumpy, but what do you think the Cougars can do to get out of their bumpy stretch? Lots of losses, only one win on the season. What is their key to winning today, as ESPN Analytics actually has them winning?
You know, I think the big thing for Washington State, they have to feed Villa. When Villa has been having these good games, the Cougars are in it. That's how they got that one win on the year so far. The other thing they really have to do, Washington State, not a fantastic rebounding team. Eastern Washington certainly is. They have to really limit Courtney Grossman on the glass, as well as the rest of this Eagles offense. You cannot afford particularly offensive rebounds when you're on defense, because that's going to cost you in these games. And in the end, they've had a lot of close games this year. 2 or 3 points could be the decider here.
I mean, Courtney Grossman, she's a big decider on the glass, averaging over 20 rebounds a game in the past 2 games for the Eagles. But those Eagles, they're only sitting at 5-4. They've been on a little bit of a win streak, but the competition between these two teams are a little different. The Eagles trying to stay above 500. What do you think they have to do today to get the win?
Well, just like Washington State, they have a hot hand themselves, and that is J.C. Eggers, who has been fantastic in their last 2 games, 26 against Denver with only 5 missed shots, 24 last time out against South Dakota. And again, Grossman on the glass, 20 rebounds she's averaging in the last 2 games. Eastern Washington is out-rebounding Washington State by more than 11 rebounds this game. If they can do that again tonight, it'll be a great game for the Eagles, most likely, and it could be a long night for the Cougars on defense. These two teams face off for the first time this year, but let's take a look back at that matchup last year. How about that? Washington State taking a win 83-82 in overtime, a really close overtime at that.
It was a very rowdy game last time these guys fought in Pullman. And that overtime, let's see if we get another exciting matchup like that today. Both sides looking pretty evenly matched. Although the Eagles have pretty much every single statistical category in favor, something to look out for is their free throw percentage. They're only shooting 66% on the season, and Eggers is a big part of that. She has 20 missed free throws on the season with 55 attempts. If she can get to the rim and get fouled, she has to figure out how to make those easy shots from the stripe.
Absolutely, and as we've seen last time out, 1-point game, any small advantage, one more shot you can make, getting fouled going up, getting that extra point there could be the decider. Looking at Eastern Washington in particular, one thing I noticed with them, their point differential per quarter, they're positive almost everywhere. Second quarters, they are having some trouble.
I mean, that could be really something that the Cougars can take advantage of. Against BYU last week, they had the lead going into the fourth quarter. They just couldn't figure out how to hold on to that. But if the Cougars can start strong against the Eagles, I think WSU could put up a good fight, as they really need some type of win this season. They're 0-3 at home, 0-3 away, and then their only win came in a neutral environment. But with tip-off just a little bit away, we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Blues.
basketball fans, welcome to Beasley Coliseum.
Welcome back to KUGR Radio. We're back from the break, and the starting lineups were announced. The starting lineup for the Eastern Washington Eagles: at guard, Ellen Bowers. At guard, once again, number 2, Ella Gallatin. Number 13, Katie Gingra, or Janegra. Number 10, JC Eggers. And number 22, Courtney Grossman. For the Washington State Cougars, starting lineup: number 2, Eleonora Villa. Number 8, Mackenzie Chatfield. Number 10, Charlotte Abraham. Number 9, Tanya Volanchik. And number 55, Malia Rude. Each side is being coached for Eastern Washington. Their head coach, Johnny Gleason, which is in her 5th season. For the Washington State Cougars, they're led by head coach Kami Etheridge in her 8th season with the Cougars. With tip-off just moments away, teams are on their sidelines prepping for what should be a very exciting matchup.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like last year, 1-point battle goes all the way down to the wire, goes to overtime. Washington State getting the win there. Should be a good game. 40 minutes on the clock, 10 in the first quarter. Both teams still in the huddle on their benches.
I think a real big difference maker today could be the impact on boards if the Cougars have the hustle that the Eagles have. The size difference isn't there really between the Eagles and the Cougars, similar heights for their tallest positions, but what's the real difference maker could be the hustle today. And every point matters, just like last year. The Cougars in their home stadium of Beasley Coliseum trying to get a win on the column once again, getting to 2-8 and sending the Eagles back to Cheney at 5-5.
Both teams out of the huddle, lining up, getting ready for tip-off, just seconds away now.
At center court for the Cougars is Volanchik. And for the Eagles, well, the Cougars are wearing white and the Eagles are wearing red. Cougars going left and the Eagles going to the right. The tip has gone to the Eagles, and they are going to take it up the court now.
Yeah, one there by Grossman, no surprise there.
At the left wing, now at the top of the key, Jaladin gets it to the right to Bowers. Bowers now sends it at the free throw line is Eggers. Eggers kicks it back out to the right. Bowers drop step, kicks it to the top of the key, driving into the paint, and it goes down. Katie Jane-Graw with the first points of the game.
Well, that's just another example of great hustle, going straight down the lane of your defender, puts a layup up just the right time, up and in.
Chatfield has it for the Cougars at the top of the key, hands it off to Villa. Villa pulls up a jumper from the free throw line, and it goes down. 2-2 is the score, 9:18 on the clock in the first quarter. Eagles taking it back up the court. Down at the top of the court is Grossman. Grossman now takes it into the paint, kicks it to the right wing to Gallatin. Gallatin getting under the paint, goes with a reverse layup off the glass, goes down. 4-2 lead now for the Eagles.
And I think that took Abraham by surprise. Wasn't expecting a reverse layup to come out as late as it did.
Chatfield tries to get a pass over, but it's tipped and intercepted by the Eagles. Bowers with a great defensive effort there and tries to feed it inside, but they're going to call a foul on the floor against Volanchik.
Yeah, a little bit too much of a push there.
Very fast-paced game so far. Great ball movement there from the Eagles as they have an inbound on the right side. To find somewhere to go with it, they're just going to kick it out to the top of the court to Eleanor or to Gallatin. Gallatin now has it on the left wing, being heavily pressured by Villa. Gallatin finds an open woman on the right corner, pulls the three and goes down for Bowers. 7-2 lead for the Eagles. Have not missed a shot so far today. 8 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Villa now has it at the top of the key for the Cougars, trying to find someone open in the paint in Volanchik. Volanchik gives it back to Villa, who then feeds it to Abraham on the left wing, tries to get a three-pointer to fall, but it rims out. Good rebound there by the Eagles as they're pushing it back up the court with Bowers, who hands it off on the left wing. Quick three, and it goes down. Gallatin and the Eagles, just like that, have an 8-point lead only 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, 4-10, just under 8 minutes to go. Eastern Washington yet to miss a shot.
Abraham now has it on the left wing for the Cougars. Gives it down to Rude from the Pac-12 logo. Just on now getting into the paint. Gets it now. Lots of swing passing going around. A three-point attempt was up from Volanchik. It does not fall, and another rebound goes to the Eagles. A good rebound there by Grossman, who hands it off. Another three-pointer goes down. Ella Gallatin once again. 11-point lead now. 13-2 is the lead. 7 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Cougars trying to get anything going. Chatfield hands it off to Rude at top of the key, and she drains a three.
Yeah, Washington State last couple possessions trying to get players open for three. Had a couple corner ones that missed. Finally, Rude top of the key, able to get one to go, and they really needed that one.
Now it is Eggers at the top of the paint, who gets it down to Grossman, who misses a layup. Good defense there. First miss of the day for the Eagles. And now Chatfield had it up the court, gets it to V on the right wing, who swings it down inside the paint to Volanchik, who tries to get a bounce pass into Abraham, but a foul on the floor. It's going to be against the Eagles.
And now some movement from the bench.
Multiple substitutions coming in for the Cougars. Lauren Glazer is coming in along with Marta Alzina. Abraham to inbound it for the Cougars. Gets it out to Rude immediately on the right wing. Pulls it aggressively, but the shot does not fall. Great offensive rebound by Charlotte Abraham. Goes right back up off the glass, and it falls. 13-7 is the lead for the Eastern Washington Eagles.
Went up for a real tough shot. Two defenders all over. Still managed to get that one up and in.
Driving immediately down the floor is Ellen Bowers, going against Villa, and gets into the paint, draws contact and the foul. Puts down the shot, and one coming up for the Eagles.
Second team foul for the Cougars. Second foul of this game. Villa has one. Volanchik has the other.
Ellen Bowers to convert the one. Her free throw is off, and that's been a kind of Achilles heel for the Eagles this season.
Still with an 8-point lead, 15-7, 6:30 to go in the first.
Villa gets it to Charlotte Abraham on the right wing. Now feeds it across the court. Keandra Koritz with a three-pointer from the right corner does not fall, and a good rebound there from the Eagles. Pushing it down the court is Bowers. Kicks it out to Grossman. Grossman's three-pointer does not fall. Lots of pressure on the rebound on Abraham, but she's able to find Villa. Takes it across the court now.
There just seems to be a difference in transition speed. Eastern Washington seems to be flying down the court so far for this first half of this first quarter.
Keandra Koritz from the right wing now gets it to Villa. Doubled now. Malia Rude found in the paint. Tries to put up a tough hook shot. Good defense by the Eagles. And it's going to be another miss and rebound. Eagles moving it down the court. On the right wing now is Bowers. Swings it to number 12, Paris Kirk. Kirk gets it back to Bowers. Swings it to the left wing now. A pass inside the paint to Grossman. Grossman working against Abraham. Foul on the floor. It is going to be against Grossman. And an offensive foul gives a little bit of a wiggle room to the Cougars.
Yeah, they have to be real happy about that one. It looked as she was coming in a little bit too much elbow there, given to Abraham. That's what the offensive foul is going to be for, and that's the first one against the Eagles tonight.
Cammie Etheridge barking orders to the Cougars, telling them to get into position. Villa just gets it across the midcourt line now. Trying to take it herself all the way, is going to be fouled, driving to the basket, and free throws are coming up for the Cougars. That appeared to be Katie Jane Gross on the foul.
Washington State with a chance to pull closer here. First one up and in.
15-8 is now the score. 5 minutes and 20 seconds until the end of the quarter. Villa, her second free throw is away, and it goes down. 15-9 is the score. Down to a 6-point game. Bowers still taking up the court for the Eagles. Swings it to the left wing now. Tipped up in the air and stolen by the Cougars.
6 points, 2 possessions. Washington State steals one back there.
Abraham has on the left wing. Hands it now to Villa. Villa gets a screen to the right from Rude. Villa taking it herself. Puts up a layup with the left hand. Malia Rude, great job finding a rebound. Keandra Koritz takes it herself, puts it off the glass on the right side, drops down 15-11. Now the score just under 5 until the end of the quarter.
And that's her first points of the game. She came off the bench just a couple minutes ago.
Bowers hands it to Gallatin. Gallatin puts up a tough three, does not fall. Villa there for the rebound. Abraham now taking it herself. Euro step off the Pac-12 logo, drops down.
What a shot. Here comes Washington State, closing the lead up to 2, 15-13, 4:22 to go.
Shooting percentage isn't quite there for the Cougars, but the hustle factor is there right now as Bowers takes it herself into the paint against Villa once again. Gonna fall 17-13. Score now, very high scoring, fast-paced game just with 4 minutes left in the quarter.
And that's how you have to respond. There's some big moves looking like they're being made down on the Eagles bench.
Abraham on the left wing swings it now to Lauren Glazier on the right side. Tries to get a tough pass across the court. Almost stolen. It is stolen this time. Foul on the floor going to be against the Cougars and Abraham.
That's her first of the game, the third overall for Washington State.
And with that foul, we're going to go to immediate timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR. It's been a tightly contested game so far in the first quarter. Cougars getting a little bit of momentum back on their side going into that media timeout. And Charlie, why do you think that really is?
Well, I think the big thing is they have limited Eggers so far. She has not scored. I'll tell you who has scored for Eastern Washington: Bowers and Glatton. 15 of their 17 points so far. A very much more balanced attack from Washington State. Villa with 4, Abraham with 4, Koretz with 2, Rude with that 3 that really got him back into this one and started that run. 4-point game, 3:53 remaining, 17-13. Not out of it yet. And with how much, as we mentioned in the pregame, how much Eastern Washington struggles in those second quarters, Washington State has a chance to lead in the half if they can really have a big second quarter and limit the damage that Eastern Washington can deal in the last 4 minutes of the first quarter.
Well, something that the Cougars really need to stay focused on is consistency. Even if they get that lead in going into the second half, Cami Etheridge has to tell her squad to hang in there, keep the consistency going, and do not get exhausted. They have to stay stout on defense, offense, and right now they are being beaten when it comes to shooting, but they're still in the game based off of their hustle and a lot of points based off of steals or offensive rebounds, something that they're going to have to focus on for the rest of the game.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, with the timeout coming out of the timeout, the Eagles will have possession. They're going to be inbounding. Once again, my name is Nathan Eshelman, joined by Charlie Templeton here at Beasley Coliseum. You're listening to Washington State versus Eastern Washington women's basketball.
And it looks like during the timeout, we'll see some changes from both sides. To see Alzina's checked into the game for Washington State. Looks like they're going with a different lineup there. Glager into the game as well.
Brielle Magnuson was the one who inbounded the ball for the Eagles. Big change there. And a swing across the court with a three-point attempt, but an illegal screen against the Eagles is going to be another turnover and a possession going to the Cougars.
Referee will say too much movement. I have to agree with him there. It looked like a little bit too much movement on the screen. You're about to move a little bit, but not as much as that. That's what the foul's going to get called.
The foul was on Eggers, but a quick transition across the court. Villa had an open 3 on the left corner, but she did not make it, and it's a rebound by the Eagles trying to move it quickly down the court. Gallatin has it at the top of the key. Driving now on Villa, gets a handoff with momentum, but cut off well by the Cougars defense. Swings it now to number 23, Mekaori. Swings it now to Gallatin from 3, and she does not get it to fall. Rebound by Koretz. Koretz hands it off to Alcina.
And there might be a little bit of confusion here because the clock on the Jumbotron has not started, but the clock on the back of the backboard has started.
3 minutes on the clock. Alcina has it for the Cougars. Swings it to Glazer from the free throw line, and she gets it to fall. Bounce it out across the rim a couple times, but it does fall. 17-15 is the score. Cougars down 2. Eagles now have it on pushing it. Gallatin takes it to the rim against Rude. Contact and the foul and one just rimmed around and went down. 19-15 is the score now with a free throw upcoming for the Eagles. 2 substitutions now coming for Eastern Washington. And Bowers coming in along with Jane Gross.
If they're able to get this free throw, that'll be big. Puts them out of the range of a one-possession game.
They missed their only free throw earlier in the game, and that was from Bowers. Let's see if Gallatin can get it to fall now. Some discussion happening on the bench between Jody Gleason and the referees, but they're going to resume play, and Gallatin's her free throw to convert the and one is up, and it goes down. 20-15 is the score. 2 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. Alcina taking out the court once again to Villa. Villa trying to feed it inside the paint to Rude. Just a little bit too much power on the pass, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover by the Cougars. 5-point lead still. 2 minutes 29 seconds on the clock.
Bit unfortunate there. She had to rifle that pass, and she was going to get to that window. Just misplaced it a little bit off the fingertips of Rude out of bounds.
Eggers hands it off to Jane Gross, who doesn't get it, but a great rebound by Eggers, and pushing it against Alcina, makes it off the glass. It's her first bucket of the game. 22-15 is the score. Cougars and Villa taking out the court. Alcina has it at the top of the key now. Gets it to Glazer on the right wing. still hands it off to Koritz. Koritz now gets it inside the paint to Rude, tries to get it off the glass. Great defense, and it does not go down. Rebound by Bowers. Bowers, lots of contact, gets it up and in while falling down. Great effort there, and Alcina could do nothing but watch that go down as the Eagles have their 3rd and 1 attempt of the game.
Unbelievable shot. I don't know how that one went in. Just manages to get it up and in as she's falling to the ground. A little finger roll there. And now for the and one as well to put them up 10. My note I was going to mention, Eastern Washington is getting a lot of these almost faux fast breaks. They're getting really fast passes off of rebounds. Washington State will usually have 1 or 2 players back by then, and that's how they're getting these opportunities.
Ellen Bowers had her free throw opportunity, but she does not convert it. It's another free throw miss for the Eagles, and the Cougars trying to move it down the court. Once again, gets it to the left corner now, trying to swing it all the way across to Alcina. Able to maintain it, gets it inside the paint. A shot up by Glazier does not fall. Great rebound and hustle by Marta Alcina, who now has it at the top of the key. Screen left and right. She goes right. Alcina now swings it to the right side to Valanchik. Valanchik gets her defender to jump, feeds it on a bounce pass to number 25 Glazier, who does not get the layup to fall. Another rebound for the Eagles and a chance to go up double digits. Bowers cut off pretty well, but Gallatin has at the top of the key now. Spin move against Koritz, driving, no whistle, and it's another great layup step through on the Cougars. 26-15 is the score. Great effort there by Gallatin, and Villa now has it now for the Cougars. There's only 45 seconds on the clock until the end of the quarter. Glazier feeds it to the free throw line for Koritz. Koritz does not get the shot to fall.
And it's a 9-0 run now for Eastern Washington. Washington State's last bucket 2.5 minutes ago.
Grossman with a great rebound, gets it down the court. A shot attempt, three-pointer up by Gallatin does not fall. Rebound effort by the Cougars. Hit off of them, goes out of bounds. And now Malvina Harsiri coming into the game for the Cougars, and coming in for the Eagles appears to be number 52, Bella Hayes. And Bella Hayes is the tallest player for the Eagles, getting some size in there for the final 20 seconds of the quarter. Eagles will inbound it. Bowers gets it into Hayes. Hayes has to hand it off. Lots of pressure. Haziri now guarding Bowers. Bowers with the screen to the right from Hayes. Feeds Hayes on a pick and roll, and she gets it to fall. 28-15 is now the score. Final 11 seconds now. Villa looking to let the clock run out. Screen right from Valanchik. Villa step back from the free throw line. Does not get it to fall. 2 seconds on the clock. Fighting for a rebound. Do not get it. And that will do it for the first quarter. The Eastern Washington Eagles have a 13-point lead, 28-15 at the end of one.
Absolutely. And looking back at that last possession for the Eagles, fantastic job by their offense. Don't know if it was a coach's decision, just a play that they ran there. They managed to get Hayes, their tallest player, on Malvina Hilzeri. Nothing she can do there. That layup is an easy make for Eastern Washington. They end the quarter on an 11-0 run. Some questions in the huddle for sure for Washington State.
And I mean, a lot of what the game plan coming in, trying to win the rebound game, it's even right now, 10 rebounds for each side, but the big difference is the shot making. The Cougars are only shooting at 33%, both teams at 18%, but Cougars shooting half as well. 6 made shots for Washington State compared to the 12 made shots for Eastern Washington. The only thing the Cougars can really hang their hat on today is that they are perfect from the line, 2 for 2, compared to Eastern Washington's 1 for 3. All free throws coming from and one attempts.
Yep, indeed. And they, like I said, like we said in the pregame, it might come down to 1 or 2 points here. There, so far, that's not true. But as we also said, Eastern Washington's weakest quarter is the second quarter, which is about to come up. We'll see how much of a dent Washington State can make in that deficit.
Well, we're going to go to break just before the second quarter comes back. You're listening to KUGR Radio, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR Radio. At the end of one quarter, the Cougars in their home territory down big once again, losing by 13, and they don't want this to turn into another blowout. Earlier in the season, when they traveled to Louisiana, they lost by 77. Hopefully that doesn't happen here today. We want a competitive game, and Eastern Washington just trying to hold on to it, not giving anything to the Cougars.
Absolutely, 13 points, the difference starting in the second quarter.
Aziri gets it into Villa. Cougars will start with the ball going to the left side. Villa has it on the right wing, hands it off to Aziri at the top of the key, swings it to Koritz. Koritz pulls a three-pointer just short. Fight for the rebound is there by Alcina, and a foul against the Eagles.
Not exactly sure what happened there. There was a scuffle underneath the rim. If anything, I figured that was going to be a call on Washington State, but the foul goes against the Eagles. It'll be an inbounds pass from the baseline for the Cougs.
Aziri will be the one to inbound, and Paris Kirk coming into the game for the Eastern Washington Eagles. Trying to get the inbound in, gets it to Marin Alcina. Alcina hands it off to Haziri. Haziri on the right wing now, pulls a three-pointer contested, hits the back iron. Great rebound by Haziri. By Alcina, gets it back to Haziri. Haziri now dribbling to her left, tries to get it to the inside, stops it, gets it to Valanchik at the top of the key. The screen left now. Alcina, with only 5 seconds on the shot clock, finds Koritz on the left corner. Her three-pointer doesn't fall either, but a great defensive play by Valanchik. Great awareness to cut off a kind of a lazy pass at the back court.
Eastern Washington absolutely not expecting someone to be right there. Valanchik was 2 points for Washington State.
Kirk hands it off to Bowers. Bowers at the free throw line, swings it to the right wing to Jane Gross. Jane Gross gets it back to the top of the key. Grossman pulls it just behind the free throw line, and it does not fall. Rebound to the Cougars. 28-17 still the score. 8 minutes, 37 seconds on the clock. Villa at the top of the key now. Gets it to Koritz. Koritz on the left wing. Hands it right back to Villa. Villa now hands it to Aziri. Lots of passing on the right side. A cut by Aziri, cut off well. Swinging now back outside. Koritz tries to take a drive into the paint. Lots of contact, and it's going to be a foul called. Free throws coming up for the Cougars and Keontra Koritz.
Yeah, one of the big changes that they've made in between the first and second quarter, a lot more cautious there, a lot more passing, trying to find the open shot instead of just throwing one up. There was a couple where it was right off a pass, still a lot of time left, threw one up. Really looked like they were good at it after the fact. They've calmed it down a little bit, worked on the ball movement. Even there in a possession where you don't get a shot, you do get fouled, and that's 2 shots from the line.
Koritz, her first free throw is up. It goes down. Back to a 10-point game, 28-18, 8:19 on the clock. Koritz, her second free throw is up, and it goes down once again. Cougars still perfect on the night from the free throw line, but three-pointers not so much. They're 1 for 9.
Yeah,
Eagles,
and they've closed the gap down to 9, 19-28, 8:11 to go.
Eagles taking it back up the court. A lazy pass is not deflected and goes out of bounds. A little bit of miscommunication there by Eastern Washington, and the Cougars have a quick inbound off of an easy turnover.
They had Edgar's left side top, and they had Bowers, who looked like she was going to drive. I think Edgar's expected her to, so that pass, when it came in, middle of nowhere, out of bounds.
Villa now has it on the left wing, trying to figure out where to go with it. Koritz has it, getting it into the paint, gets bounced out from Valanchik. Valanchik trying to figure out where to go with it, gets it to Alcina. Alcina driving now with her left hand on the left side, does not fall. Great defense by the Eagles and Gallatin. Gallatin swings it quickly on the right side to McEl Murray. McEl Murray tries to drive inside the paint. Layup does not go, but it is tipped out of bounds by the Cougars. She was there for the rebound, so Valanchik had nothing to do but swat it out of bounds.
Yeah, and good timing on that jump to knock that one away.
Bowers inbounds it quickly to Eggers. Eggers, her right-handed layup does not fall. Good defense by Valanchik. Quick pace now by the Cougars. Finding an open three on the right wing. Charlotte Abraham just leaving it short once again. Another miss from the Cougars from deep. Bowers has it. Hands it off. Quick three-pointer now by Gallatin. Gallatin does not get it to fall. And both sides trying to find the touch right now from deep. Both sides struggling.
That put Washington State at 1 for 10. They're shooting 10% from the beyond the arc. so far, just about a quarter and a half gone.
Eleanorville trying to change it. Quick trigger does not go. Another 3-point missed by the Cougars in a quick turnaround for the Eastern Washington Eagles. They're going to slow it down. Calling for a screen. Eggers on the right side. Screens for Gallatin. Gallatin trying to feed it inside the paint to Eggers. And the Cougars doing a great job at stopping the Big Sky Player of the Week right now.
Absolutely. And we mentioned how big of an impact she's had. Eastern Washington has done a fantastic job with how limited Eggers has been today, putting up 28 points and still leading by 9, 6:30 to go in the second quarter.
Villa hands it now to Charlotte Abraham. Gets on the left wing to Koritz. Koritz swings it back to Villa on the right side. Drives left, getting inside the paint. Tough shot contested by 3 people. Does not fall. Tough rebound there by the Eagles, but they're pushing it down the court. Emily McElmurray now hands it off to Gallatin. Gallatin trying to get it now inside the paint. Multiple bodies fall to the floor, and the referees give the jump ball signal, meaning an inbound for the Eagles.
They had 2 options there with 3 players on the ground. They'll fight for either someone gets called for a foul or it's a jump ball inbound. I think the right decision made there.
Eastern Washington, quick inbound from Bowers to McElmurray. McElmurray screen left, trying to find space. Gets it down to the top of the key. Lots of defensive pressure. 2 Cougars fall down. Bowers trying to find open space. Gets it to McElmurray. Lots of miscommunication from the bumps. And the Cougars are able to maintain a rebound after the missed 3-pointer. And now a quick transition for the Cougars. Valanchik trying to feed it inside to Keandra Koritz, but another turnover gives the ball to Eastern Washington. Minimal scoring so far in this second quarter.
4 points scored all quarter, all 4 of them by Washington State.
Large scoring droughts for each side, but Malia Rude coming back into the game, maybe to give a little bit of a spark to the Cougars. Sometimes she can really get the hot hand going. Eagles taking it up the court now. Bowers on the right wing being guarded by Alcina. It's going to hand it off to the left. Almost gets intercepted by Abraham. Abraham doing a great job contesting, but a step back 3 from the Eagles does not fall. Emily McElmurray, aggressive shot. Now Mara Alcina taking it quickly across the court. Koritz with a 3-pointer, bounce off the back iron, was coming straight back to where she shot it, but quick transition defense leads to a defensive rebound by the Eagles. Gets it now to the top of the key to Ellen Bowers. Gets it to Gallatin now. Gallatin gets it inside to Paris Kirk, trying to work against Rude. Kicks it back out to Gallatin. A quick defensive closeout by the Cougars leads to a drive and a foul. Ella Gallatin going back to the free throw line after another and one.
How many times we said that? Say Eagles are getting so many of their points off of these and ones. That's, I believe, their 4th of the game.
Every trip to the free throw line, they're making it matter because they're not only getting fouled, but they're making the shots. Cougars' defensive effort in the paint must be better if they want a chance to get back into this game. But
absolutely. Well, they've been doing great on defense so far. Only 3 points left this quarter. Only issue is their offense has only scored 4 points. Very minimal scoring so far. Both teams firing a lot from behind the arc, and they are not finding much.
Well, with this media timeout, we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Question number 3. What year did WSU women's basketball officially begin competing as an NCAA program? Was it A, 1970, B, 1975, or C, 1980? Well, I'm sorry. The correct answer is A, 1970. But you know what? You won anyway. Congratulations, Mark. You're going home with a prize. Thanks for playing Cougar Trivia.
Welcome back to KUGR Radio. Right now, it is kind of a contested second quarter. Lots of great defense from both sides. 30-19 is the score of the game, but only 6 total points being scored in the game. The Eastern Washington Eagles are due for a free throw attempt. Let's see if they can add to that total and send the game to a 12-point lead. 30-19 is the current score. 4 minutes, 54 seconds left in the second quarter.
Eastern Washington just broke a scoring drought. They get their first points of the quarter. Washington State has not scored in almost 3.5 minutes. A defensive battle so far in a second. Eastern Washington by 11, 4:54 to go.
Gallatin, she gets her free throw to go down, and it is a 12-point lead now for the Eagles. Villa, kind of the Iron Man for the Cougars. She does not miss many minutes as she's still in the game right now. She feeds it to Rude, trying to figure out where to go with it at the free throw line. Hands it off to Abraham. Abraham tries to feed it back to Rude, but cut off well by the Eagles defense, and it's a turnover by the Cougars as Bowers moving it down the court quickly, gets it to Eggers on Rude, gets her to jump, and Eggers has a wide open end of the basket. A layup goes down. 33-19 is the score. 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock until halftime. Villa has it now, gets it to Rude, has it on the left wing, just under the free throw line, gets it to Courts on the right corner, gets the three-pointer. 33-22 is the score. Cougars trying to get some momentum going. A quick pass on the inside on the other end for Ella Gallatin, and she gets it to fall. 35-22. Both coaches emphasizing offense out of that timeout.
And she now has 18 on the night.
Koritz trying to get it to Abraham. She does get it there. Abraham swings it now to Villa. Villa with a three-pointer of her own from the left corner. She gets it to fall.
Well, we found where the points were coming from. We needed the immediate timeout to get it done. 10-point gap now. Washington State down 25-35. 3:33 to go in the second half, in the first half and in the second quarter.
Bowers gets the ball from Eggers. Eggers now sets the screen for Bowers, and she pulls up from the right side of the free throw line. She gets it to fall. 37-25. 3:20 on the clock until half. Villa gets it to Alcina. Alcina gets it to Abraham. Gets it right back at the top of the key. Koritz now gets it on the right wing, tries to pull another three-pointer. She cannot get it to fall today, and it's a quick rebound. Bowers with a spin move, and she gets it off the glass. Great move by the Eagles there, and Bowers gets another point, or another 2 points, as Villa trying to match it, feeds it to Rude inside the paint, puts up a left-handed hook shot, does not fall. Great defense by the Eagles.
Bowers has 13. She is 6 of 7 from the field. And Gallatin is 7 for 10 tonight.
Very efficient shooting from two of their greatest scorers so far this season. And a lot of ball movement is because of that factor. Trying to get it inside was number 13, Katie Jane Gross, but it's poked out of bounds by the Cougars, and the inbound coming up for the Eagles. Multiple substitutions. Rude is now coming out for Lauren Glazier, staying at 6'4". The Cougars getting some size on the court. Along with Hayes, 2 6'4" players matched up in the paint. Eagles trying to post them up with one another. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gallatin has it. Step back three-pointer from the left wing goes down. And the biggest lead of the game so far, 42-25. 2 minutes on the clock now. Eastern Washington trying to take a big lead going into the halftime break. Eleanor Villa gets it to Glazer on the left side of the paint. But a pass outside. Abraham drives in. Some contact there, but no whistle. A little bit of aggressiveness there from the Cougars after they couldn't get the rebound, as Keandra Koritz is going to cause a foul on the floor. Inbound coming up for Eastern Washington Eagles.
Her first foul, second foul of the quarter for Washington State. Looking for Eastern Washington. Gallatin now has 21 points, first to 20 today.
Gallatin and Bowers combining for 34 of the 42 points for the Eagles. Some dominance from their two guards.
Gingras also has 2, along with Hayes. Eggers has 4.
A great steal once again by the Cougars. Taking it out of the court. Gets it to fall. Charlotte Abraham gets the steal, and she gets it down the court, gets fouled, somehow makes it fully vertical under the rim, and one coming up for the Cougars.
She got a push from Gibbs, but somehow managed to let that one land. We've seen some miraculous layups today. That one, we had the spinning one that was hit by Bowers, moments ago, and then the diving one that she had in the first quarter.
Charlotte Abraham does convert the and one. 42-18 is the score. 1 minute, 46 seconds on the clock. Eastern Washington leading. Bowers has it on the right wing. Gets it to Gallatin, swings it all the way across the court. Gallatin receives it back at the top of the key. Screen right from Hayes, but the mid-range shot falls short from Gallatin. And a quick pace now coming from the Cougars. Jean Chu now in the game. Haven't said her name yet today, but she's on the right wing trying to figure out where to go with the ball. Gets it to Villa at the top of the key, being tightly guarded. A zone defense now from the Eastern Washington Eagles, as Lauren Glazier takes a step back mid-range shot, heavily contested, does not fall, and a good rebound by the Eagles. Bowers moving the ball quickly down the court. Madeline Gibbs gets a three-pointer to fall. 45-28 is the score, and a timeout is taken by Cammie Etheridge and the Washington State Cougars.
And I think you have to do that. Eastern Washington, 7 of their last 8 shots have gone in. You got to just call a timeout, reset, calm your defense down, and come up with something to get points on this next possession.
Just 3 minutes ago in game time, there was only 6 points scored in the quarter. Now there's been 24 since then. Eagles, a big part of that. They have 17 points in the quarter. They really woke up after that media timeout, and Cammie Etheridge is not liking the way her defense has looked right now. But with that timeout, we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Quick timeout there as Villa gets it into the court to Jane Chu. Jane Chu gets it across the midcourt line. Now on the right wing, gets it to Charlotte Abraham. Driving inside, stops, tries to find an open person. Gets it to Chu at the top of the key. Now feeds it back to Abraham, who gets it to Glazer, and Glazer gets her layup off the glass and the foul. 45-30 is the score. Glazer, who has struggled so far today, gets her layup to fall, now at 4 points on the day.
Absolutely. And like I said, they had to come up with something to get points on the possession of the timeout, and they did just that. 2 points, could be 3, pending a free throw from Glazier.
Glazier, her free throw is up and goes down. Washington State has not missed a free throw yet today. 45-31 is the score. Only 40 seconds until halftime. Charlotte Abraham looking like a stout NFL cornerback, intercepting a pass. Gets it to Jane Chu, who now is at the top of the key. Abraham now on the left wing. Great defensive effort from her so far today. And Abraham pulls a three-pointer. She gets it to fall.
She's just doing it all right here at the end of the first half. The Cougars really need this one, and they're looking if they can kind of close this one to 10. Currently down 11, 16 seconds to go, down 45-34.
Abraham gets her 10th point of the game. 45-34, only 9 seconds on the shot clock. Grossman getting inside the paint on Villa. Does not go. Rebound by the Cougars. 3 seconds on the clock. Villa from over half court. Her three-point attempt does not go down. And that will do it for this first half. The Eastern Washington Eagles have the lead over the Washington State Cougars, 45-34.
And with that flurry of action right at the end of the quarter, Washington State will take the second quarter 19-17 in overall scoring. Still down 11, but you have to be happy with how they ended that one. There'll be some talks in the locker room about how they can continue that momentum coming out of the half.
I mean, Charlotte Abraham was a big part of that, and she got 6 of those points just in the final minute. She had 6 points from a three-pointer and an and one, both caused by steals. Great effort from her on the floor tonight. Other than that, the Cougars really have to focus on their shooting. They have too many missed shots, 4 of 16 from the three-point line and 12 of 36 from the field. Shooting sub 40 from the field is really not where you want to be, especially when Eastern Washington, their 2 stars are shooting so well, in Ellen Bowers at 6 of 7 and Ella Gallatin at 21 points on 8 of 12 shooting. Just a great job from those 2 guards tonight, really giving all the momentum to the Eagles going. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum here in Pullman, Washington for tonight's game between the Eastern Washington Eagles and the Washington State Cougars. Your score at half, Eastern Washington 45, Washington State 34. It may not look as close on the scoreboard as it really has been, but this game has really been close. Got any thoughts, Nathan?
I mean, the only reason this game has been close is the hustle factor for the Cougars. You have two players that have made their mark on today's game. While they may not always be known as shooters or the players that get the highlight plays, I mean, today, Charlotte Abraham, while she is the second leading scorer on the season for the Cougars, being one of the only players besides Villa who have positive numbers on the offensive side of the ball, she is really making an impact today, intercepting passes, getting into those lanes, and playing on-ball tight defense, causing turnovers and getting transition scores of her own. She is the leading scorer for the Cougars. She has 10 points, followed by Villa and Cordis, both at 7 points. But also another big factor for the hustle players for the Cougars is an unexpected name in Mara Alcina. She has been getting on the offensive glass with her speed and her effort. Anytime that a ball has shot short, Alcina has always fought for the ball and either gone a rebound or gone a hustle play to make the Eagles offense slow down and not get a quick transition shot as they did a lot in that first half. And when you speak about the offense for Eastern Washington, a lot of it is due to Gallatin and her speed getting into the paint. She has 2 free throws made, but both of them are from the and ones that she got twice in the game. She's shooting 8 of 12, only 4 missed shots, 3 of them being from the three-point line, but she has 3 3-pointers to make it even on that.
And those 2 free throws count for 2 of her 21 points on the day of Eastern Washington's total of 45.
Something to notice, though, is Grossman is still dominating the boards. She almost is at double digits on the night. She has 9 rebounds in her time on the court, but she is not on the scoreboard. She's 0 for 4. Cougars are doing a great job stifling any scoring opportunities that Grossman would have, but she is still getting the rebounds. And another name that we thought was going to be big going into today is Eggers. She only is sitting at 4 points on 3 shot attempts. Cougars are really forcing her in oppositions where she doesn't want to put the ball up. And it's worked out so far for the Cougars, but what they really need to stop is the 2 guards with their speed and their passing. Cougars defense is really falling behind, and they cannot get anything to stop it.
Absolutely. Only 2 players playing the entire first half. Villa for the Cougs, Gallatin for the Eagles. Along with that, both Grossman and Bowers playing 18 for Eastern Washington. Second highest for the Cougars was Abraham with 14. It was Koritz with 16, followed by Abraham with 14.
I mean, the minutes game can eventually lead to exhaustion, and Gallatin is one of the players that just drives to the paint. She has a lot of energy and hustle, but if she is going to be tired by the fourth quarter, that could be in benefit to the Cougars to come back into this game. They're down by 11 right now, which is only 5 possessions or fewer. If they can get a good run going like they had at the end of the first half, they could find themselves getting back into the game or even winning the game.
Absolutely. All to play for in the second half. 2:15 to go in the half, and we'll be right back. You're listening to women's basketball on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. And we are back for the start of the second half for tonight's game between Eastern Washington Eagles and the Washington State Cougars. Eagles on top, 45-34. Still 20 minutes left to play, and that's a lot of time.
Plenty of time on the clock for the Cougars to come back. Maybe part of it could be their free throw line percentage keep going up. It's at 100%, but maybe if they get to line more, they can get back quickly.
Absolutely. Villa with the top of the key, dumps it off to Rude. Short pass now out to the corner for Chatfield. Chatfield brings it back up to the center. A lot of movement for players that don't have the ball. That goes back over to Abraham. Tries to get up a shot, and it's blocked by Bowers, and I think that's going to be a foul called against the Eagles. Yes, it is.
I mean, that was a very aggressive play there to get it to Abraham. I mean, she's the hot hand right now. Get it to her as much as you can, and she gets 2 free throw attempts to start the half for the Cougars.
And looking to keep that free throw streak perfect, and the first one is off the mark.
I think I can take the commentator's jinx on that part. That's on me. I apologize.
Second one. That one will land. Cougars cut it to 10 points, 45-35. 9:35 to go in the third. Eastern Washington with it. They dump it down to the middle for Eggers, who puts one up over Rude. And that one way off the mark, goes over the basket, and coming back the other way for the Cougars. That is held by Chatfield. Dumped down into the middle for Valancic. Back up, Abraham. Her left-handed layup off the glass and in.
That was great ball movement there by the Cougars. Getting through the zone of the Eagles could do nothing but watch that layup go down.
Bowers with it off to Egger off the screen. She's looking in. She tries to drive in on Rude. Still looking. She puts a shot up. That one bounces once, twice, 3 times, and finally goes in. Lead for the Eagles back up to 10 points, 47-37, 8:51 to go. Valancic, top of the key. Little handoff pass there to Chatfield, who now drives against Gingras, and she's able to put that one up and in. A lot of action here, a lot of scoring so far to start this third quarter.
Very quick pace right now, each side taking any transition they can and opening to score quickly.
Bowers working against Villa. She's able to get her layup to go. Little right-handed one, able to find its target. Real quick into Valancic, tries to secure it, cannot, out of bounds. It'll be going for the Eagles.
Quick turnovers have been a problem for both sides so far today, and that is going to be the Cougars' 6th turnover of the game so far.
Both sides moving very quickly here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Brought up by Bauer. She works right side, back up into Egger in the middle. She's going to drive in on Rude, right side. Looking at one up, she does. That one hits the side of the backboard, but she's able to get it back. Finally, this one with the left-handed layup, able to get it over the rim, avoid the backboard, and gets it to go.
Eggers using both her size and her strength to kind of just get through Rude. While her first shot didn't go, she was there for the rebound and able to get the second one to fall. 12-point lead for the Eagles.
Rude working on Egger down low. She'll jump that one off just over to the left side, top of the key for Valancic, who drives in, is able to get her layup to go. Keeps going from 12 to 10 to 12 to 10. Neither side willing to give anything or let a run go. 3 finally off the mark. First missed shot in a while. That was a Gingras three-pointer off the mark. Back the other way for Washington State. A little bit of movement there on the Eagles bench. It's held by Villa. She takes a screen from Rude, drives in, kicks it off left side. Abraham, her three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by the Eagles. Grossman with it. She's now in the double digits as she trips and goes down. Slow to get up. She's now up. And that'll be a foul against Washington State.
Well, with that rebound that Grossman got over Rude, she's now double digits on the night. 10 rebounds on the game for her.
And that has been a crucial aspect of why the Eagles have a 10-point lead. They will inbound it. Gallatin looking. She finds Bowers, top of the key, working against Villa. She'll take the screen from Hayes, who's checked into the game, and that ball scoots its way out of bounds. It'll be the Cougars to inbound it. It'll be inbounded by Valancic.
Rude did a great job cutting off Bowers. Bowers having trouble controlling the ball, kicks it out of bounds. Turnover once again on the Eagles. Possession to the Cougars.
Abraham with it. A lot of congestion underneath the basket. They get it to Rude. She very quickly throws the layup off the glass and in. The lead now down to 8, 51-43, 6:40 to go in the third. And working quickly now are the Eagles. They get that one into Gallatin, whose shot does not end up going anywhere, but they're able to get the rebound, get that one back. She fires another three. This one off the mark as well, rebounded by Washington State. Abraham with it. Now she throws it over to Chatfield. Back to Abraham. Washington State continues to pound the glass. That one's for Abraham up and in, and it'll be a timeout called by Eastern Washington.
Back to a couple possessions ago, Rude is doing a great job stopping the guards. Just as I said at halftime, you have to find a way to stop Bowers and Gallatin as their shots in the paint have been so uncontested all day long. But Malia Rude has put a stop to that, as not only did she cause a turnover with a kick ball, but that last possession, she swats a ball just before it gets up, and it's a turnover for the Eagles once again. Rude doing her job on defense, being the anchor right now for the Cougars, bringing it to a 6-point game, 51-45.
Absolutely. Bowers and Gallatin combined for 34 in the first half, have been held to only 2 points so far in a little bit less than 3 minutes here in the third. Your score again, 51-45, Eagles with the lead.
And I mean, the shots have been still falling down for them. Right now they're 1 for 3, but I mean, that if you can pick that up pretty quickly, the Eagles seem to feed them more and more. Eggers also kind of starting this half quickly. He made a step back shot against Rude from the free throw line. Very contested. Rude playing great defense all around anywhere she can, but Eggers, with her talent, she just gets the shots to fall sometimes, and that's what the Cougars have to accept sometimes, is if you play good defense and they play better offense, sometimes you just have to live with that.
Absolutely, and now we are under immediate timeout, so we will step aside. We'll be right back. You're listening to Women's College Basketball on KUGR, Student Voice of the Blues. Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum here in Pullman, Washington. 6:15 gone in the third between the Eastern Washington Eagles and the Washington State Cougars. 51-45, Eagles lead, and they'll get the ball out of the immediate timeout, inbounding from their baseline.
Cami Etheridge was loving what the Cougars offense and defense were doing, being in the right position each time on the past couple of possessions. Let's see if they can keep it going for the next 16 minutes.
Yep, Bowers into Grossman. She's looking around for a pass, decides to drive in against Abraham. That shot looked like it was partially blocked. Either way, doesn't go in. Chatfield with the rebound, and here comes Washington State. Villa with it. She'll back up a little bit, almost back to half court. Dumps it back to Valancic, just behind the three-point line. Now over to Rude at half court. Abraham with it, working one-on-one against Gallatin. Now over to Chatfield. Shot clock running down. She'll drive Villa wide open. Her three-pointer is good. And she'll close what was an 11-point halftime lead down to 3, 51-48. Eagles still with the lead, and they have the ball looking to answer back. Hayes with it, straddling the three-point line right at the top of the key. Bowers, a little mid-range from just past the Pac-12 logo. Her shot is off the mark.
Rude once again going to defend her, and Rude using her size in the paint to stop any easy shots.
And when tipped, saved by Valancic. Villa, another three off the mark. She misses it just short, and that shot could have tied the game. Now the ball's ripped away by Abraham and rolls out of bounds. And that'll be a foul called against Abraham. A little bit too much contact on the rebound, say the referees.
Cami Etheridge is moving her players around the court, and they are playing smart basketball right now. They're not forcing shots. They're not forcing possessions. They're taking any opportunity they can to just find an open shot. You don't want to force a contested three-pointer. You don't want to put a contested layup with three people guarding you, as they did in the first half. In this third quarter, they have an 8-point advantage, and that's due to a smart team effort. They're not forcing shots, and they're also playing very aggressive on defense as well, stopping any easy shots.
Absolutely. Washington State so far in the third outscoring EWU 14-6, and we have another immediate timeout for the under 5. You're listening to Washington State basketball on KFGR, the student voice of the Palouse. We'll be right back.
WSU athletic events presented by Nike. When you wear Nike, you wear what the Cougs wear.
Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum. Quarter and a half to play. 51-48. Eastern Washington leads Washington State. A gap that was once 11 reduced to 3. The Cougars have been controlling this third quarter so far, and they look to take the lead. 4:57 to go in the third.
I mean, a big wind attack from the Cougars. A 9-0 run really got them into this position, got the Eagles' backs against the walls. Jody Gleason freaking out on what to do with their offense.
And Eastern Washington will start with it. Bowers brought it up. Little pass out to the corner to Eggers. Bowers gets it right back. And now Grossman with the top of the key. She's trying to work her way in. Shot clock running down. Bowers trying to get a shot off, being guarded by Volancic. Her three-pointer just rattles out. Player's gone down for Washington State. That's Abraham, and I think that's going to be an offensive foul called against Eastern Washington. It is. It'll be an inbound for the Cougars. Inbounded by Villa. It'll be taken up by Chatfield. She drops it off to Abraham. Basically a handoff pass there. Villa holding it. She gets a screen from Rude. She tries to drive in. A little bit of contact there with Gringras, and that'll be a foul called against Eastern Washington.
The Cougars still playing smart right now, and what they have found a way to do is stop Ellen Bowers and took Ella Gallatin out of the game right now. She's resting on the bench to get this third quarter closed out.
Yeah. Inbounded to Chatfield. She runs over, dumps it off to Abraham. Now Volancic with it. Rude trying to back down Eggers. Fires back out. Three from Volancic to tie the game off the glass. Does not hit the basket. Moving quickly now is Eastern Washington. Their three, no good as well. That one shot by Gingras. Washington State, two moving quickly. Abraham already has it just beyond the arc. Rude, her three to tie the game, and she got it! Washington State, once down 11, they now tie the game at 51, 3:37 remaining. Eastern Washington quickly moving as well. They get it to Gibbs right underneath the basket. Her layup left hand. She gets it. Eastern Washington takes the lead back. Both teams moving very quickly. Villa just gets that one to go. That one rolls around the rim a couple times and drops in. 53-53. Both teams neck and neck here. 3:07 to play. Eggers, right side, drops it off to Bowers. She throws it over. Circling the horn now is Eastern Washington. Gingras with it. She tries to get one up on Chatfield, off the mark. Rude could not get the rebound. Eastern Washington there, three off the mark. Rude this time secures the rebound, and Washington State will take it the other way. Chatfield carries it across half court. Drops it in low to the Pac-12 lower to Volancic. Back out to Abraham at the top, and she tries to drive, and I think she got fouled.
That was an aggressive play there by Abraham. She's a little slow to get up right now. She took contact from about three Eagles driving into the paint. Appears the refs might call this a foul on the floor prior to a shot attempt. We will see.
And Glazier comes into the game for Rude for Washington State. Cougars 14-2 run in the last 5 minutes, made five of them. There's a fight under the basket for who's going to get it. Washington State will win that fight, taken up by Villa. She goes down the right side, gives it up to Chatfield at the top of the arc. Villa now drives in, kicks it back out, moving around the horn. Abraham, three-pointer, off the mark, off the glass, off the rim and out. Washington State still leads by two, 55-53, 1:05 to go in the third. Eastern Washington looking to tie it right back up here. The pass from Bowers into Eggers. She just could not get a grasp on that one, and that'll go out of play, and Eastern Washington cannot be happy about how that possession just ended.
That is the 10th turnover of the game for Eastern Washington, and it's let the Cougars back into it. Only 8 points scored by Eastern Washington. It's really a rough going right now, and they need to have a strong offensive fourth quarter to stand a chance against the Cougars.
Less than a minute to go. Abraham by the free-throw line, throws it over to Chatfield. Long pass over to Koretz on the left side. She brings it up to the middle, throws it back over to Chatfield. Abraham wide open, three. Can't quite get it, hits the iron. And back the other way for Eastern Washington. Grossman brings it up quickly. She looks to drive. Thinks better of it, turns around. Look for someone to pass, 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 for someone to pass. Alcina with it. 15 seconds to play. Hanging back. Gets it to Abraham. Drives in. Gets hit. Villa. Shot for the win. Off the mark. And it looks like that'll be a foul called against Eastern Washington with 3 ticks left to play.
That's only the first team foul of the quarter. So 3 seconds left to go. Cougars might go for the win right here, or we'll see if we go 2 straight overtimes, 2 straight years in a row.
They have to scheme something up. Either way, the game ends right here. They get it to Abraham. 2 seconds. Her shot for the win. Off the mark. Shot. That shot just too far, and that'll be the final score of Eastern Washington 71, Washington State 69. Well, we expected it to be a close game. It was. Washington State falls here at home in a heartbreaker. Had 2 possessions with under 20 seconds to go. Could not get it done.
Just a tough way to go out, and it was just the shooting at the end that just really fell apart for the Cougars. The bad shots really got the best of them, and Eastern Washington held on just enough to get the advantage in the fourth quarter, and a big part of that was Eggers, their star player for the past couple weeks. She's just really gotten them into games, and today she saved the game for them. She got them to lead. She got all the momentum swinging for them, and the Cougars just did not have enough to get themselves back in, and it ended up being another win for Eastern Washington, moving them to 6-4 on the season.
Looking forward, Washington State hosts Texas Tech on Friday. Anyway, that'll do it for us here at KUGR. I've been Charlie Templeton, joined by Nathan Eshelman, and that'll do it for us tonight. One more time, your final score tonight, Eastern Washington Eagles 71, Washington State Cougars 69. That'll do it for us here at KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse, and have a good night.
As they take on Texas Tech, we'll be here. For tickets, visit WSUCougars.com. We thank you again for attending tonight. And as always, go Cougs.
That's the right one. Good. We have audio again? I'm so confused. I spent so much effort to have that happen. That's frustrating. You know, tough loss. That was a tough loss. I was so hoping that even though I was really sick, I should call it good for it.